Hi everyone, I'm Annie Figueroa, the 2-star diamond coach on the Knockout Empire. Thank you, my team. It's my honor, my amazing honor, to be able to introduce my coach to you today. Wow, she said, when I joined the council, she said, get yourself to 2-star and maybe I'll come. So, this girl means what she says. Her name's Carr. I was her personal trainer for a figure competition that she did on Okinawa in 2012. Her husband Adam was deployed to one of the most dangerous areas of the Middle East. I knew what that meant because I'm a Marine spouse, but I couldn't imagine what she was going through every day at home with her 2 boys. I was afraid for her, but we didn't really talk about it in the gym. She made a daddy doll that her boys clutched every night before they went to bed. And she told me about this doll. And all I could say was, wow. She talked about this Beachbody company and home workouts. And I laughed and I said, you can't build muscle in your living room. She actually has that on her website, that a personal trainer told her that. I didn't understand, but what I did understand was the fire and the determination in her eyes. Come up here. Come up here. Please. The fire and determination in her eyes, her servant's heart, and her unrelenting drive and discipline. Tarah is a 3-time elite top 10 superstar diamond coach and the first and youngest to reach this accomplishment internationally. She has hit Success Club every single month since she's been a coach. That's like 60-some months. Amazing. Some of us struggle with the last thing of the month. I do too, still. She became a millionaire in the first 3 years with this business. But more important than all of that, Adam's home with her right now. There it is. She is a goal crusher, and after speaking at Summit last year, she became known as a storytelling ninja. It's my honor and my pleasure to introduce to you the woman who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, Tarah Carr.
Guys. So I have to first say thank you for inviting me here and doing a military theme. Because when I bought these shoes, my husband said to me, let's be realistic, babe. How many times are we going to find a place to wear camo heels? And I was like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. If the shoe fits, we'll figure it out. And so we got the memo. This is my 5th time wearing them. I'm getting a lot of use, babe. So thank you. I'm going to give a round of applause for any service members that we have today here with us that have served, anyone that we've got so far, we're on Facebook Live. Round of applause, love the people that are standing. You guys get to do so selflessly, and for one, I'm so appreciative of that. I was so grateful to spend 7 years of my life with a military wife. There were a lot of times where it gets hard. It gets hard. If you're in that lifestyle, you know that it's not easy, but the greatest thing that ever happened to me with being a military wife is I learned how to develop grit. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, because if you develop grit in your business, you will be successful. I promise you that. Maybe we can have a Jonathan Gelfand disclaimer that I can add on there. Beachbody's not guarantee any success. I don't have it fully memorized yet. I'm getting there. But I promise you that grit will help you in this business. When I first went to my first event with Beachbody, that aha moment happened for me. I was like, these people are crazy. They love working out. I hated working out still. I just did it because I wanted to fit in my clothes. But I was like, they're so happy. I think some of them are on drugs. I'm not sure. Maybe it's in the Shakeology. We should probably get that looked into. But it was fun. I liked it. I felt like all of a sudden I had an identity. You know, sometimes you lose yourself in the day-to-day life. That was me. We were living in Japan. He was gone 10 months out of every year. We had our second son, and he left about 6 days later. Didn't meet him until he was about 6.5 months old. So I got lost in the shuffle of life until I went to my first event. And I sat there and I thought to myself, why not me? All of these people are doing it. They're doing it. Some of these girls aren't wearing makeup. I typically don't like to do that either. So that means that that's okay. I can do this. But I had to learn very quickly, and this is the number one key to my success, is that there are no systems when you are not consistent. And I want you to write that down. I thought when I would show up to my first event that I would leave with like this 500-page book with Michael on the front cover in a Shakeology suit, like doing the turbo pose, that would tell me everything I needed to do to be successful. There was all these systems I was hoping for. But when I learned when I left, is that there was no book. I had to develop it on my own. So I'm going to teach you a couple pages of my invisible book of some of the things that I've learned. The number one thing is there are no systems when you're not consistent. Now we know this to be true because it's what we sell every day. It's what we share with people. We have the perfect action plan that we can give to people in a box when it reaches that front door, right? When someone's buying one of Tony Horton's programs, they get P90X. Woo! That's right. They've got the meal plan. They have the DVDs. They have the schedule. With a lot of our programs, we have containers. There's a book that says you can't have McDonald's, yet people still do it on their program, and they're like, it didn't work like those other people. What happened? And you're like, you happened. You didn't do it. We have the perfect system, but people have to follow it if they want to look like the people on the infomercials with the before and afters. I've been very grateful to be in test groups. I know you have to follow these things to a T. You can't cheat. It's not fair, because if we cheat, we're representing something that it's not true, because that's not how they developed it. So you have to follow it to a T. So everything I tell you today, I want you to remember, if you don't do it consistently, it won't be a system for you. It won't work. System number one that I learned, I was a rank chaser. I was one of those people that went diamond in 21 days. My sponsor was like, hit Success Club. 3 days later, I'm like, okay, I'm at 10 points. What do I do now? She was like, I don't know. Just keep doing whatever it is you're doing. I'm like, well, I've already signed up my mom, my husband, my brother. No friends are talking to me right now, so I really don't know what to do. I just did it. She's like, okay, well, just be you. Just talk on social media. She thought it was funny. That was encouraging. I didn't feel like I was. But she said, just be you. Make videos. Get out of your own head. So I chased these ranks and these titles, and I wanted to be a Success Club All-Star legend, thingamabobbers, all these things. If you had a title, I wanted it. Didn't understand why, but I just wanted it. So what you understand, if that's your personality, you'll hear a lot of people talk about, don't chase rank, go for volume, you've got 7 legs and 9 arms, and do this and place here. That's so complicated. I didn't understand any of that when I signed up. All I understood was that I liked who I was. I liked that I could smile at the reflection in the mirror that I saw because of the results that I achieved with our fitness program, and I just wanted to share that to anybody who would listen to me. Anyone. Groceries for people in the checkout aisle, you name it. We were talking. Wear and share 24/7. But I realized I did that because that was something that was deeply rooted in me as a child, is that I felt like I didn't matter. So I felt like I had to prove myself. I felt like I wanted that day that my dad would like find me on Facebook to be like, she's something. Maybe I'll call her on her birthday this year. That's why I did stuff. Because I felt like I needed to do something to be someone and matter. But what I had to realize was system number one that I created. I can, I have, I like, I am, I remember. Those are the things that I want you to write down. And I want you to take notice of the things that follow. So even though I was chasing these ranks and I was chasing these big goals, and people maybe saw me as someone who was confident, behind the scenes what I would write down was, I can, okay, what you believe you are capable of. So when I first started, I didn't really think I was capable of a whole lot. I barely graduated high school. I moved out of my house when I was 18 years old on the day of my birthday, and I went through my senior year by myself, working 3 jobs, just trying to get by. D-average student at best. I graduated, but I didn't walk with my class. I sat in the bleachers. And it was because I didn't feel like I earned that diploma. I didn't feel like the D-average student was good enough to grace the stage and take that diploma, throw off the hat, and do all that good stuff. Which, by the way, Jeff, I kind of feel like we should have a cap and gown thing that we could throw, because I've always wanted to do that. So maybe we could throw that in there for Summit. But those were the things that I told myself, right? It wasn't good enough. So I just switched that. I had to believe that I was capable of being a successful coach. I had to believe that I was capable of people listening to a 23-year-old who decided she wanted to do self-help on Facebook. I had to believe I was capable of that. I have. How much value do you feel you have? I didn't really feel like I had a whole lot to contribute to people, besides how to take a really good selfie with some natural light. Most people weren't asking me how to do that, but I had to learn that some people secretly wanted to know. So instead I made a video that got a whole 2 likes. People really watched it though. Back then you couldn't see how many views, but now you can see how many people are viewing it. So I had to learn that I couldn't put the likes on my worth. It didn't matter. I was just going to share whatever I wanted to share. Maybe it was helpful, maybe it wasn't, but I had to feel like I was adding value. I like how much good you see in yourself or the world. I found myself to be pretty negative sometimes. I would be surrounded by military wives. My first run-in with a Special Forces wife was on a plane by myself with the boys. She looks over at me, she sees my pen, and she's like, "Oh, honey, you're a new one, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Hi, yeah." And she's like, "Ugh, we're going to Hawaii without him because he's never home. It's a miserable life. Can't even stand him. Don't even know why we're still together." I'm like, I should get a new seat right now. She's like, "I'm prepping you. He's probably gonna cheat on you. They all do it. You know, they all do it. Honey, do your own thing." And I was just like, oh my goodness, is this what this is gonna be like? And from time to time, there were wives that were like that. They wanted to vent on their husbands. They wanted to talk about how it wasn't fair that they were never home to help, to do the dishes, or tuck the kids in that night. And I would find myself getting caught up in that, like, yeah, that's not fair. And then I take a step back and I'm like, wait a second. He's out there fighting for us. What's fair? I'll do what I have to do. So I had to learn that I had to surround myself with different people. Who were the people that were influencing how I was viewing what my husband was doing in the service? So I kind of took a step back. I unplugged from everything. And I decided to pick my 5 people. Shalene became my best friend. She didn't know it, but we were BFFs. We talked every day. And I would just be like, I love these people. They don't know me, but I have to plug into them all the time. I was obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. Adam would come home and be like, "Babe, I think we need some help on Beachbody." There came a point where we weren't allowed to say the word Beachbody in the house after 4. It got that serious. I was obsessed. But it changed the way that I viewed the world. Because I was listening to people who didn't want to be normal. It was okay to be weird. And that showed me it was okay to believe that I could make this happen and bring him home. I am. How do you define yourself? What do you say about yourself on a day-to-day basis? A lot of you will look at other people on social media, maybe some coaches that are already successful, and you'll say, "I'm not as fit as him. I'm not as pretty as her. I'm not as photogenic. I'm not that great on video." Let's be honest, my selfie sucks, right? Like, you're saying all these things to yourself on why you can't do something because I'm not this. You have to shift that. Before you even believe it, you have to shift it in order to believe it. Those were things that I had told myself, and I had to put Post-it notes all over my house, and it looked like a box of Skittles had exploded everywhere. And Adam would come home and be like, "I am beautiful. I am loved. God loves me. I am great today." Our house was ridiculous. And my friends would come over and be like, "She is so into herself." I was like, I have so many issues. I'm not. But those were the things that I had to tell myself to believe it, so it projected on social media. I remember how you choose to recall what has control over you. This was a really big thing that Bogeyson taught me when I was at one of his seminars, because I used to look at my past and I would think of police sirens. I would think of domestic violence calls. I would think of my dad never keeping a promise. I would think of all these awful things. And I allowed that to define me. I allowed that to control what I thought I was going to be capable of. But instead I had to flip that. And I had to decide that I was going to be the hero of my story and not the victim. And so I want you to change the way you may view some of the things that have happened in your life. You have to change how it controls you. Click, click, click. They either support or threaten how you identify yourself. All of those. Flip of a coin, 50-50. It's going to support and make you better, or it's going to threaten how you identify yourself. This was how I identified myself on the one side a lot. This was in Okinawa. Every time Adam wanted a picture of me, I was like, oh, stop. Please, can I put a kid in front of me? Can I squat like this or turn to the side? I just wanted to move myself because I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. And this picture over here was after Annie training. I don't know where she is. Where'd she go? There she is. That was after Annie trained me for one of my shows. She wanted to kill me for doing some of the programs in my living room because I was like, I'm repping Beachbody. She's like, don't. That stuff doesn't work. Right? Right, Annie? Front row seat or 2-star down coach. It doesn't work. But it does work. And you know what it works on the most? I know we see the external stuff, we see the before and afters. What you don't see is how much it works in here on people. That's when it changes. So I don't want you to get discouraged if you didn't hit the goal that you wanted to hit in 90 days because you've got your whole life ahead of you. It is not about how fast and how quick you can achieve something. That smile on my face, laughing so hard behind stage, because I didn't care if I placed at all. I really didn't. Andy said, you're going to place. I'm like, that's cool. I love this body. Just like walking around. That's awesome. But I placed. That was fun. But what was more fun is who I became. I became confident. I loved the skin that I was in. I didn't care about stretch marks anymore because I brought kids into this world. I just loved myself. And if you can love yourself through this process, I promise you'll show other people that they have permission to start loving themselves too, to start where they are. There is an I in team. Did you guys know that? There is an I in team. Everyone, when I grew up on soccer teams and stuff, they were like, there's no I in team, and I always believed that. So there got a point in my business. I was hitting success with every month. I was sharing, I was inviting. The last day of the month, like Amy said, I'm like, who haven't I talked to in preschool that I could reach out to today that maybe would buy a challenge that? Anybody? Haven't missed anybody? Right? Sometimes that gets tiring. Let's be honest. We're not going to sugarcoat stuff. You get tired of trying. Life sometimes gets hard. And even though I said out loud, I want to bring Adam home, those were just words at the time. Because he hadn't said yes yet. He's like, maybe. I have kids. I know that means no. That didn't mean yes. So I just kept doing the things that I liked doing every single day, but I got tired. And I wanted to slow down. And I wanted to watch Netflix. I just wanted to binge on Netflix. And so I started doing that. And as I started doing that more, and as I stopped showing up more, people stopped messaging my inbox as much, saying, you're inspiring me. Instead I was getting messages of, I miss you. Where have you been? I haven't seen you a lot. Like, I'm watching Netflix. I don't know. You should watch this show, it's really good. But I got tired. And then my team started to get tired. I'm like, wait, what happened? I wanted to take a break. You guys can't take a break. Yeah, I want to take a break. But they wanted to take a break because speed of the leader is speed of the pack. There is an I in team, and the I in team is you. It's you that has to show up every single day, even when you're tired. It's you who has to lead from the front. You can't cheerlead from the back. I tried. My numbers started to go down. People stopped joining challenge groups. At one point in Summit, I retract this statement. At one point at Summit, I said, I don't do challenge groups anymore. I'm burnt out. I don't do challenge groups anymore. That's the worst thing you can ever do as a coach, is to not do a challenge group. Because when you don't do a challenge group, you're not helping people. You're not serving. So if you're tired of doing certain challenge groups, change it up. Get creative. I had to start creating financial freedom challenge groups of the Dave Ramsey budget system. I had to start doing challenge groups love languages so people could have better communication in their marriages and understand how their other partner felt loved. I had to teach people how to let kids cope with deployments. I had to find out what could I do a challenge group with that wouldn't make me tired right now, that could still serve and help other people. Now I'm running challenge groups again all the time with fitness. But the reason why I was burnt out was because I allowed myself to stop. I allowed myself to slow down. So by no means am I not saying you shouldn't have any balance and you should go up 1,000% all the time. Balance is key. But don't ever allow yourself to slip behind your team to where you're cheerleading from the back. Together, everyone achieves more. Man, I used to take on so much. So much, and I didn't have to. People all the time would say, I know Adam just left today for a 10-month deployment. Can I take the kids for you today? Can you have some alone time? I'm like, no, I'm good. And then at 9, I'm like, do we have wine anywhere in this house? Where is this? Right? I should have said yes. Take the kids to the park for an hour. It's the same thing with your team. But you have to be willing to step up and say, what can I do to help serve this team of ours? This isn't my business, this is our business. Even when he was deployed, this is ours. Annie, this is our team. Annie would say, can I take over a call for you this week because I see that you're traveling? I love you, right? Do that more for your upline and for the people that are on your team. What can I do to help make us better, stronger, faster, together? Create systems, because more brains together are more powerful than one. She comes up with ideas that I would never think of. So many of the girls on my team that are here today. You have to combine forces and show up. Smart. Are you smart? Anyone feel smart here? I didn't always. And sometimes I would make a goal, and I would think to myself, that's dumb. Why did I do that? You know what I think is a dumb goal when people say, I want to be healthy. Okay, eat a piece of lettuce. Did you achieve it? I don't know. Because healthy that's broad. I don't know what you mean by that. So let's talk about one of the systems that I implement for every step of my life. Is it SMART? Is your goal specific? So when you say, I want to be healthy, when someone reaches out to you and say, I love your videos, I want to be healthy, I want you to use this form method back when you talk to people. You say, I don't know what to say to people when they reach out to me or what questions to ask. SMART. Everything they say to you, ask yourself, is this smart? If it's not, teach them how to make it smart. Give them direction on where they need to go. So number 1, is your goal specific? Someone says, I want to get healthy. Great. What does that mean to you? What does healthy mean to you? Do you want to lower your cholesterol? Do you want to lose 10 pounds? Do you want to get off medication? Specific questions. I want to be diamond. Okay, why? Why do you want to be diamond? What's that going to do for you? Be specific. Is your goal measurable? I want to be healthy. Well, we determine if I eat a piece of lettuce right now, am I healthy? No. I can't determine that because that's not measurable. So I want to lose 10 pounds. So when I lose 3, can I measure how close I am to that? Yes. So every time you talk to someone, make sure it's something that they can measure. Do you have an action plan? Do they have a system? Do they have P90X? Do they have any of our programs, 21-Day Fix? Do they have an action plan? They do. You have to help them follow through it. With your business, do you have an action plan? I know a lot of you are like, girl, I try to create an action plan every day to hit Success Club, and it is not working. Keep trying. Tweak it. Ask other people what's on their action plan. Do you have a power hour? Hi, squirrel syndrome. It's a real thing. I swear it is. I will be on something 1 second, 2 seconds later, I'm like, shoes. Did you see those shoes on the side of my Facebook, babe? Let's talk about this real quick. Squirrel syndrome, it's real. I have to have power hours or I get nothing done in my life. So what's a power hour look for you? For me, first 10 minutes of every day of work, I've got to listen to Stephen Furtick. Personally for me, I have to fill my heart and my head with God first before I can open that inbox, or I might use some choice words. Gotta love me some Jesus first. Next, I go back into my back online office. What's new? What's in the breaking news? Anything cool that I need to know about, to talk to my team about? maybe some specials. After that, I'm making a post for the day. Or I'm brain dumping. I love brain dumping. I don't know if you guys saw my training on this. I did one, I think some 2 years ago, maybe it's on YouTube. But I created this thing called brain dumping. And it's where you sit with some just quiet inspirational music to you, no words, and you write down anything that comes out of your head. Words, memories, people, whatever. And then later, when you're in the right mindset, you go further on each of those things. Why did I write that down? What did I want to talk about on that? What did I want to teach about on that? I can create content for 30 days off of brain dumping in 1 hour. It's just brainstorming, so you have to have an action plan. Is your goal realistic? Now that depends on you. Is your goal realistic? If you would have asked me when I was 23 and I said I wanted to bring Adam home, at the time to me that wasn't realistic. But when I started doing a lot of these things, I started believing that it was. And when I put an action plan and saying, okay, we've got to figure this out. We've got to put a deadline date on this, because we had just lost a team member on his team and that hit me hard. You want a wake-up call in life that time is the only thing that you can't back? Lose a teammate. Shortly after, another one of his teammates committed suicide. Hard hits. Wake-up call to me. If I'm tired, so what? You gotta keep going. You got a why that makes you cry, you got something that's important to fight for, you fight for it. So you have to set something that's realistic to you and what you're willing to do to make that happen. So to me, I wanted to replace his income. It was never in my wildest dreams a goal to say, I'm gonna be the millionaire circle or I'm gonna do whatever. Didn't matter to me. I just wanted to serve. I wanted to help people. I wanted to feel like I had a purpose. I was making a difference. If you say to yourself, but I don't have a why that makes me cry, you do. It doesn't have to be a spouse. It doesn't have to be retirement because first of all, that has to be their choice. That was his choice. I wasn't some savior that came on a white horse and saved the day. His choice that he wanted to be home with us, to be a family. So you have to decide what your realistic goal is. I'll talk to coaches on the first day and I'm like, so what do you want to do with coach? And they're like, 15 star next month. It's game on. Let's do it. You did it, I'm gonna beat you. I'm like, love the spirit, love the fire, go team. It's not gonna happen. Goal crusher. Sorry. Love you, I gotta tell you the truth. Why don't we shoot for diamond? Why don't we do something that's realistic and we'll reverse engineer that together on what that takes to happen? Do you have a time limit? A lot of people say, take your time, enjoy life. For some of you, that may be true. For me, I didn't feel like I could do that. I felt like our time was ticking every single day. He was in Afghanistan, and when he came home, I knew our schedule, because it was a habit, right? He was gone 10 months out of almost every year for 5 years straight. Sometimes he'd come home from an deployment, and I would think I had 2 months with him, and he'd be like, babe, I got bad news. They just told me we're leaving on Friday. I'm like, but that's tomorrow. He's like, yeah, sorry. I had a time limit, because we didn't have a lot of time. So maybe you do, maybe you don't. But you've got to set a time to your goals. I'm going to complete the 21-day fix program in 21 days. Guys, that's 21 days. When people tell me they fail that, I'm like, we need to sit down and talk. It's 21 days of your life. Give your all to one of our programs, please. Represent what these programs can really do for people. Because when you cheat on that program, when you go to McDonald's, when you fill your body with toxic, genetically modified, not going to say a cuss word, bad stuff, awful stuff, that's not what our programs do for people. That's not the life we want to live. Set a time limit. Dun, 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 dun. Personal development. Fill your head with personal development. It's not quacky stuff, I promise. He thought that. Now we have like 1 million books. Fill your head with personal development. Whatever it is you're struggling with, that's what you should read. A lot of people say, what's the best book? The best book is whatever it is that you're struggling with right now inside of your head. These are some of my favorites. This is a collage of a lot of our homecomings and our leavings, right? We have to have that final hug, goodbye, and say, okay, I'll see you soon. You've got to put pictures up like that around your house that remind you what it is that you're fighting for. Because there were days that it was hard, that it was easy for me to forget. That it would be easy to say, you know what, the military does cover our house. Like, we have health insurance. We're grateful for what we have. It's not too bad. We can keep pushing through for 1 more year. We could do this for 6 more months. So you have to put reminders up of what it is that you're fighting for. And for me, I had to decide that I wanted to say good morning to him more than I wanted to say goodbye. It was that simple. You have to make a choice that's that simple. And although it's just a sentence, to me, it hit me in my heart every single morning because there was no other feeling that was waking up in a bed without someone beside me. So 10 months out of every year, I slept on the couch. Couches to me are the most comfortable. If you ever want to invite me over and you don't have a guest room, it's cool. I'll take your couch. I love couches. But there are times even when you're consistent in the business. The year that I decided to go all in, I made top 10. Got to go on an amazing trip to Argentina with Jeff and a lot of corporate. I was on cloud 9. My team was taken off. I had 15 superstar diamond. Everything was awesome. And then I started to slow down again. And I made my goal board. I was real excited. I didn't think I slowed down. I made my goal board and I showed my husband. And I was like, what do you think about my goal board? He goes, truth? Yeah. He's like, I feel like I have LeBron James on my team and you're playing like an injured K-Love. I was like, you think I'm like LeBron James? That was the first thing I heard. A lot of people were like, you think I'm an injured player? I was like, you think I'm like LeBron James? He's awesome! He balls on that court! That was our bonding time watching the Cavs. That was the one thing that we had that we could always talk about on Skype. So that was a wake-up call to me that he thought I was like LeBron James. He thought that I had that work ethic. He reminded me of my own greatness. And a lot of times you need people in your corner to remind you of your own greatness. So talk to your coach, build a relationship with them, form with other people, because you have to be reminded when you're not playing like LeBron. Don't let your time be your excuse, make it your reason. So I know some of the things that I say, if you follow me on videos, Adam and I, we say things for face value a lot of times. And I want to end it with this. A lot of times we don't have people in our corner, right? We want our friends to join our groups. We want our mom to just trust us. Mom, just listen to me. Drink the Shakeology. That's what my mom's still. Mom, I love you. You're probably watching me live. She's a coach. Guys, she kills it. My mom's in her 50s. She's a 1-star Emmy coach, almost 2-star. She rocks it. But she still says Shakeology in videos sometimes. And I'm like, love her. That's my mom. But you can't let your time be your excuse. You're not always going to have people in your corner. You're not always going to have time. When Adam was going through the whole process of wanting to become a Green Beret, he wasn't allowed to use a phone in front of one of the faces. But he found a phone, grabbed one of his friends, said, "Come over corner, I gotta call Tarah." So before this, he had broken his ankle. He ripped off his cast. He didn't want them to know because he thought they wouldn't let him go through. I was like, you're crazy. He used his porter, right? Here's my porter for you. He used a porter to call me, to tell me he didn't think that he could make it. He was doubting himself. He's like, babe, it's me. I can't talk long. I think I got 2 minutes. I don't think I can do this. My ankle hurts. I'm tired. I want to come home. And I was like, hey, babe. Shut up. I love you, but don't come home without that Green Beret. Because you have that work ethic. And if there's anyone that I know that can make it, it's you. There's a reason why out of 400 people, only 12 made it. Because you've got to have the right porter to call the right person that's going to tell you sometimes what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I ask people for that advice all the time. Asked Jeff last night, how can I be a better leader? What are things that I can tweak and do better? Maybe it's not something I want to hear, guys, but it's something that I need to hear. Don't be quick to be offended when you ask for advice from your sponsor and she says, I don't really feel like you're not showing up. I don't feel like you're giving this your all. This is your quarter. Sometimes we have one quarter in life. And if I wouldn't have made that choice to tell him how much I believed in him, there were a lot of lives that maybe weren't saved because of that man. So I want you, every day that you go out there, you've got until midnight to develop your grit. Midnight. I have short timelines. Don't have a lot of patience. You can ask anyone in my family. You've got until midnight. Because when you leave here, this is your first event for some of you. You have to find a why that is worth fighting for. I've said that since 2012. Find a why worth fighting for. Even when you check in the box and you complete a goal, you've got to find something else. For us, it's a missionary trip in South Africa with our team. You've got to find a why worth fighting for. So I thank you guys for your time today. Go out there, be great. Get rid of your fear. Don't worry about if people are judging you. They are. I'll tell you that right now. They're making fun of you. They're texting about you right now, making fun of you that you're at a self-help conference watching me speak. Take a selfie.